Hey guys, Colin here from CH Gadgets, and this is the Huawei P40. Wait a minute. Hold up. Give me a sec. Alright, so that's more like it. Hey guys, Colin here from CH Gadgets, and this is the Huawei P40 Pro. And in this video, I'm going to tell you 5 things that I really like about this smartphone, and a couple of other things that sets this apart from everything else that is on the market right now. By the way, if this is your first time here and you love tech and gadgets just like I do, and you want to see all the cool new tech that I get to test and play with every week, then start now by clicking that subscribe button and tapping that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of my new videos when they drop. Also, if this is your first time seeing or hearing about this smartphone, here are the specs. And yes, I'm back. I'm finally back. But we're gonna talk more about where I've been and what I've been up to in another video. For right now, let's talk about this dope smartphone. So the first thing that I want to talk about is one of the most obvious, of course, and that is the design and the display. The one that I have here is the Silver Frost, and man, this thing looks and feels really good. Now, even though this is a more understated design than the usual, they still managed to give it that super premium look and feel that you have come to expect from a Huawei flagship. The frosted matte texture on the back is really good at rejecting fingerprint, and it also feels super smooth and super grippy in the hands. So usually when you're holding a premium smartphone made from glass and metal in your hand, it would feel like you're holding a wet bar of soap because glass can get so slippery when your palm gets sweaty. But the material that they use to make the back of this phone feels really clutch in the hands, and it gives you a sense of confidence that it won't slip out. Now, the display on this bad boy is super impressive, even though it's not Quad HD Plus. Coming in at about 6.58 inches, this high resolution, high refresh, 90 Hz OLED panel is capable of displaying 16 million colors with great contrast ratio. It can get really bright and still remain vivid. Photos and videos look vibrant and sharp, but color accurate. I also like that overflow design of the glass and how it just wraps itself inside the metal frame, which gives this display a really unique look and feel. And it also makes using the gestures seamless and intuitive as your fingers just glide right across the display without any protruding edges or the metal frame to get in the way. And this design overall has given this phone one of the best in-hand feel of any smartphone that I've used so far. I also really like the fingerprint sensor. What can I say? It's really fast, accurate, and reliable. And I've never had a mistouch since the time that I set it up. And it's still going like clockwork. The next thing that I'm really liking is the new UI and the app gallery. Now, compared to what I've experienced a few years ago when I had the Mate 10 Pro, this newer, more improved version is light years away from what it used to be. EMUI 10 is now more fluid and intuitive and way more user-friendly than it used to be. And Huawei has managed to pack a few extra features and benefits inside that I think can be really useful. Speaking of which, now that we know that Huawei's newer smartphones have been suspended from using Google Mobile Services, aka GMS, and its related apps because of politics, Huawei has come up with a smart solution, HMS, Huawei Mobile Services. Makes sense, right? This is their own ecosystem that functions just the same as Google's did. So instead of the Google Play Store, you now have Huawei's App Gallery. And this is the 3rd largest app store on the planet right now, where you can find most of the apps that you need, plus there are a few other resources such as Phone Clone or Pedal Search that should cover everything in your wish list. I'm definitely going to be doing a deeper dive into the app gallery and the UI and what it means for smartphones like this in the future in a separate video. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Another thing that is worth mentioning is the battery performance and the charging speed. Now, even though this is a 4200 milliamp hour battery, it still can achieve 5 to 7 hours of screen on time with plenty to spare at the end of the day. But even if you're an extreme power user and you're able to nuke this battery by the middle of the day, the charging speeds on the P40 Pro is insane. It supports 40-watt wire charging from the included supercharger, plus it was one of the first smartphones to support 40-watt wireless charging. You can plug this bad boy in and go from 0 to 77% in 30 minutes and about 70 minutes for a complete charge. Now, I don't have one of those 40-watt wireless supercharger stands that Huawei sells, so I can't say for sure how it performs, but I know it performs really well with a wire charging. However, another cool aspect of the P40 Pro is it also supports 27-watt reverse wireless charging. So you can just flip it over and fast charge another flagship Huawei phone on the back, or you can charge your smartwatch or your wireless earbud, or maybe you could even just charge another smartphone super fast. All right, so this brings us to the incredible camera system that is on the P40 Pro, which is a quad camera dream team. So here's the starting lineup. You have a 50 megapixel wide angle lens, a 40 megapixel ultra wide angle, and a 12 megapixel super sensing telephoto 5x optical zoom lens with OIS. Plus, you have a 3D depth sensing camera for those bokeh-licious portraits. Oh yeah, there's also a 32 megapixel front facing selfie camera and a depth sensing camera for better portraits. And what can all of this do, you said? Well, I thought you would never ask. Alright, so this is 4K 30. And this is what the dynamic range would look like. Backlit. Get some greenery. Get some sky into action. See how it handle that. Alright, now we're gonna switch to 4K 60. Alright, so this is 4K 60. And I'm assuming it would be less stabilization. Got my mask on, practicing safe being out. That's what the dynamic range would be like. Get some greenery into action and get some sky. All right, so that's 4K 60. Peace out. Alright, so those are the 5 things that I've been liking so far since I've been testing this phone. But the list is much longer than that, and the video would be too long if I named them all. So you can stay tuned for my full review where I can give you the lowdown of everything that I've been loving and not liking about this smartphone so far. But there's a lot to be said, and this phone is feature packed, feature rich, and I just can't cover everything in one video. But I can tell you that much, that when I do my full review, you would get the entire lowdown. But until then, I can tell you right now, I'm really enjoying using this phone. Since I picked up this phone, I just want to snap everything that I see in my sight just to see how it's going to turn out on this display. Because this is an amazing, amazing camera on this phone. And overall performance has been really good. and the display is really nice, and I'm just saying it's really good. Now, I'm not saying there's some trade-off. There's a couple of trade-offs with this smartphone that you probably need to think about if you're gonna pick up one for yourself. Because if you were like deeply rooted in Google mobile services and all the stuff that comes with them, then when you get a smartphone, you're probably gonna go in withdrawal syndrome because you're probably not gonna get any of them on this phone. But if you're not deeply entrenched in Google mobile services and you want to try this out, you're gonna have a heck of a time because it has everything that you would need and more. So, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say for now. That's all I'm gonna leave you with. This is an amazing smartphone and I'm loving everything so far about it. If you wanna hear more, stay tuned for my full review video. But if you can't wait and you wanna pick one up, right now, I could say from what I've seen so far, I could definitely recommend this one. So, go ahead, pick up one for yourself. I'm probably gonna leave a link down in the description. So until my full review, I'm gonna see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.